So I told you guys a while back that if I get 500 likes on this video, then I would rebuild this Slapz audio subwoofer with new parts. Well, that was a very bad idea because here's the parts list. And as you can see, these parts are $190. This subwoofer is $229 brand new. These parts are probably a whole lot better than the ones that came with it from the factory. But when you can buy a whole new sub for the cost of rebuild, that's kind of crazy, right? Well, here we are. I got all the parts in here. We're going to do a dry fit in this video where we're going to show you what the parts do and how they work. Then the next video, we're going to actually glue it all together and test this subwoofer with the new parts installed. So some other details. When it comes to rebuilding subwoofers, this dust cap, we're going to reuse the dust cap. So we're going to have to cut it off of here very carefully and reuse it. Also, this spider bridge right here, we're going to need to reuse this as well. This is just a hard plastic piece that separates the two spider layers. You have this pack right here, this pack right here. We're going to reuse this on the new subwoofer. So we're going to keep this cone. We're going to pull these parts off as we need them. But right now we're going to check out what's in this box. So I just got all these parts from Lord of Bass. I'll put a link down below to where you can get these parts. This guy, he sells all the parts in America to build a lot of really big subwoofers. He even has like some really big coils and stuff. This is one of the biggest. This is a 4-inch coil. So opening the box up, you can see there's already some parts starting to show. And let's see if your boy ordered the right parts the first time. So the first thing to come out of this package is a spider pack. This is a 4-inch diameter coil spider pack with a 10-inch landing. I'm pretty sure that's what that subwoofer requires. For the other side, we have another pack right here, and this one has the tinsel leads installed. So what we're going to do is sandwich them together with that spider bridge using the parts from that other cone. Before we go any farther, I want to show you guys how this fits. So this is a 10-inch diameter landing. That's where I measured that. And I purchased the parts for a 10-inch diameter landing and a 4-inch diameter coil. You see that sits right on there just like that. The other one, spaced out, will sit right on top. And in this case, I ordered both of these as progressive. So both of these are going to be a progressive roll. Hopefully we can get more SPL with that. Let's check out this. This is actually the cone and the surround. They were sold out of a lot of options and I didn't get the exact one that I wanted, but hopefully this one will work. You can see that it doesn't have the notches on the side. We're gonna have to make those ourselves. And you can see it doesn't have any stitching around the side, which obviously I wanted that. Also, it doesn't have the reinforcement layer, which the previous one didn't have either. But you could buy a reinforcement layer for that. Instead, I bought this cone right here. So we're going to test this guy on here. We're going to see if it lines up the way we want it to. The outside lines up. Also, the surround roll. There's a bunch of different ones, but this was the only coil available with this roll that I needed for this subwoofer. You can also see there's a little gap here between the spider and the cone. And that's very important because remember we had that big stack that has to come up. So if we take this spider, lay it on there, and this cone, and lay it on there, you'll see that there's still a gap. The next one's going to be up there, but there's still going to be a tiny gap between the cone and the coil, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So it is my understanding that you can buy these with different depths between here and here. But like I said, the options were kind of limited, so this is what we bought. So I used this across the shop, but we're going to need it, so I went ahead, pulled this back out. This is called a triple joint ring. And what this does is it goes between the coil and the spider and the cone, and it makes all these connections really tight when you glue all this together. Now we're going to check out the cone itself and see if I ordered the right one, because obviously that's very important. You see here they have a number of different cone options available. So this is a dual 2-ohm coil. And besides having the coil being the right height, the right diameter inside and outside, this was also a taller coil. And it was much taller so it can fit that extra gap there that I just told you about. So that cone can sit anywhere on this part of the former and it should work. Now we're going to set this coil in here and see if it fits. As you can see, it fits perfectly. There's just a little bit of wiggle room. It's not hitting the outside. It's not hitting the inside. This coil should fit perfectly inside this motor. Now I'm going to show you guys a cool trick I saw on the internet the other day. It's pretty simple, but I'll show you it. What we're going to do is we're going to take these parts of the tinsel leads and we are going to carefully twist them together. We're going to take the other side and we're going to carefully twist those together. So we're going to short out this coil. Now we're going to drop it into the gap and watch what it does. See how it slowly goes in the gap? When I pull it out, it takes some force to pull that out. Watch it. Isn't that crazy? Now, I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to undo these leads. Now watch it. I'm going to set this in the gap. The leads are undone. You see it has some resistance, but you see it falls much faster. So that's what the magnet is doing to the coil. They're acting on each other and they're making an opposing force. So when you put voltage here, it's causing this coil to come up, or you reverse the polarity and go down. And that's how a voice coil works. So let's do a quick assembly. We're going to take this coil, we're going to stick it in here. We're going to make sure the leads don't come out over the top. We're going to take the spider, we're going to lay it very neatly over top, just like so. We're going to pull that up just a tiny bit. That way our cone is sort of halfway where it's supposed to be. And we're going to take this cone and we're going to set it on top of that. You want to be very careful that you don't damage these leads when they come out. It's kind of a tight fit, but she will go. Don't force anything. Don't force anything. You will break something that you can't afford to replace. Okay, now she's put back together. Essentially, this is how the subwoofer will work. There's that gap I was telling you about. It's not going to be as big because we have that bridge there, but it may be there. And this, and if you glued all this together in just the right way, this would be considered a drop-in. So that's what this is. We have the cone. We have the spider. We have the coil. This one goes, the triple joint ring will go on the bottom. One spider, the bridge, the other spider, the cone, all that will get glued together in steps, which I'll show you how to do that. Then we're going to take the dust cap and we're going to set it on top. So we're going to reuse the dust cap from the other model. You can get a different dust cap if you want it, but in this case, we're rebuilding that subwoofer. That's the dust cap it's going to get. And the spacer here is specific to the subwoofer, so we're going to reuse that as well. So it looks like I ordered all the correct parts the first time. And this is really cool, because now we can actually start to assemble this subwoofer. Piece by piece, you will go back together, and this motor and basket will have life again. Now there's going to be a whole nother video assembling all this stuff. You'll have to stay tuned for that. It's going to be very detailed, and it's going to be a longer video. But this is just to show you that you can buy all these parts, and you can rebuild the subwoofer. Whether you want to or not, that's going to be up to you. But in this case, I'm just going to show you how all these parts go together and how to rebuild the subwoofer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one where we assemble this one together. I'll put some posts all over the place when I'm going to drop this video. That way you guys know, hey, by the way, I'm rebuilding this subwoofer, and this is when it's going to be available.